At this time, I'd like to call Muscogee Nation Principal Chief David W. Hill to come forward to give the State of the Nation address.
Ms. Jay, good morning. Glad to see everyone here this morning. I know Speaker had to introduce former chiefs. I'm just honored that you're here today, Chief Floyd and Chief Ellis. I know Chief Ive had mentioned he may be a little down in the weather, and I told him just put a mask on and come on, we'll be all right. Chief Tiger had texted me this morning, and he's also the commentator for our basketball tournament, so he is currently getting ready to do that. But again, thank you each and every one that's here today. Second Chief Beaver, Speaker Hicks, Representative of the National Council, Honorable Tribal Judges and Justice, churches and ceremonial ground leaders, thank you for coming, as well as all the dignitaries and friends, and most especially the Muscogee citizens, thank you. Last year, I stood before you reminding us all the lessons from our ancestors, that we are all heirs of a triumphant victory of survival. It is up to each of us in our communities to carry on with a humble spirit and always striving for the best of our people. We promise prosperity and progress for this great nation. We've pledged to leave a legacy of growth and advancement during some of the most demanding times in our history. I'm honored and pleased to stand before you today and tell you we are accomplishing those goals. The state of our nation is strong and we are continuing to grow. This nation's government today have the same spirit that guided us in the past, as we always fought for our existence, our recognition, and our advancement. We're still the same Muscogee nation that stood up to the Department of Interior in Harjo versus Clippy and fought to end federal paternalism and creating our own tribal government and starting a new era in 1976. We're still the same nation that fought for and won inherent sovereign authority to reestablish our court system in Muscogee Creek Nation versus Hodel. We're the same nation that led Indian country into the United States Supreme Court to affirm existence of our reservation and others in the state of Oklahoma. It's in our blood to lead. What a tremendous and humbling responsibility to be in a position to advance that legacy. To bravely imagine a place we could still go and all that we can achieve. It's been another year similar like many others, and in some ways extraordinary. And we've had to say, see you again to a few loved ones. We celebrated the arrival of new family members. We've laughed and enjoyed one another's company. And we've come together in trying moments when our community needed us the most. Through it all, we're all together. We are still here, and we are still Muscogee. To our National Council, I want to thank you again for the opportunity to join you today and give this address. And I know many of you feel the exact same way that I do. These positions we hold are extremely humbling and challenging, but I also know we all feel like it's a great honor to our lives to be blessed with the opportunity to lead. We may not always agree, but there are times when we can improve. But I pledge to this body a renewed spirit of open dialogue and transparency so we can move forward, no matter what it looks like getting there. It's such an exciting time. For so long, I've told people the nation is growing. We just haven't grown with it. That's changing. We've changed the landscape, and literally, just look around the complex and see. It's a great time to be Muscogee, and we're just getting started. As well as Speaker, I'd like to make a few recommendations and to the past Principal Chief, Chief Floyd, Chief Ellis, Chief Tiger, Chief Cox, Chief Beaver, they just laid the foundation. That's my goal, to do the same. To all the second chiefs, previous National Council representative, and at this time, I would like to have all the cabinet, this administration stand up, please. All the cabinet members. Thank you. I also like to recognize all the veterans. If you're a veteran, please stand and be recognized. Thank you. Thank you for your service and your dedication and what you did for our nation. This time I would like to, no speaker has already done it. I think he took some of my notes, but I'd like to recognize Second Chief Dale Beaver and his family. Please stand and be recognized. I would like to recognize my family. They would stand up, be recognized. My whole These are all the people with our great employees, and so many more out there who sustain and helped us accomplish our goals. Their work and support are the reasons we achieve success. Before we look ahead, I want to revisit some of the brightest moments from the past and recognize the work of so many. We've had the privilege attending the oral argument in the Strobel versus Oklahoma Tax Commission before the Oklahoma Supreme Court on behalf of the Muscogee citizen. We will know what steps in this case soon, the next steps case in this soon, but we feel extremely confident in the argument we've made. The law is on our side. Laws related to taxation of income earned by tribal citizens who both reside and earn income on a reservation have been settled for decades. But the state of Oklahoma is choosing to ignore those laws. The state is not above the law. It is our hope that this case will ensure the Oklahoma Tax Commission recognizes that. We cannot sit back and let others pick and choose on what they are or not going to honor when it comes to the promise of our affirmed reservation. One of the quotes I always like to mention is, "At the far end of the Trail of Tears was a promise." We continue to demand accountability from our partners with the willingness to find ways to work together for the betterment of all who reside in our borders. This year, we gathered over 300 Oklahoma law enforcement, U.S. Attorney's Office, victim advocacy, and others to River Spirit in Tulsa for the first ever Justice on the Reservation Conference. This all-day event allowed us to share challenges, information, and solution on how we can best collaborate on criminal matters and juvenile justice within our court system. I want to commend Attorney General Jerry Wisner and her staff for coordinating this event and for their efforts. We will continue to seek out ways to bridge any gaps in communication or interpretation. We also continue to stand for sacred and made national headlines this year in our fight for justice for Hickory Ground. Over 200 ceremonial ground members and leaders, tribal leaders and supporters left Okmulgee on the morning of September 23rd on our journey for justice in Atlanta. We made the journey to hear oral arguments in Muscogee versus Porch Creek Band of Indians before the 11th Circuit U.S. Court of Appeals. We held candlelight service at the night before the argument in downtown Atlanta and recognized the 57 men, women, and children who were exhumed from their resting place, many of which still had not been properly returned. Just a few weeks later, in a significant victory for tribal sovereignty, the 11th Circuit Court of Appeals vacated district court's ruling and reinstated the Muscogee Nation's claim to stop ongoing desecration of Hickory Ground. This is a monumental victory for our nation and for tribal sovereignty as a whole. The 11th Circuit decision reaffirmed our nation's sacred and historical ties to Hickory Ground, while also affirming our sovereign rights to seek justice against federal agencies and other entities that violated the law protecting this sacred land. This ruling supports and strengthens the sovereignty of the tribal nation by holding our rights, and protection must be respected and upheld under federal law. We are grateful that the court approached this case in the respect and integrity befitting the sanctity of Hickory Ground. We continue our regular meetings with our legal team and look forward to more positive development in this case in 2025. At this time, I would like to have Miko George Thompson stand up, and any members of the Hickory Ground Ceremonial Ground or Tribal Plan, please stand and be recognized. And Miko, I just want to say we'll continue to fight. We continue to strengthen our ties to the original homelands of the Southeast. The relationship we relied upon from the likes of Seminole Nation of Florida, Broward and Calhoun County in Florida, Florida State University, Atlanta, and Macon, Georgia. These relationships have kept Muscogee history preserved and protected in these areas. There is only one Muscogee Creek Nation. We cannot allow fake groups with no cultural or ancestral ties to these lands to infringe upon our rights and our identity. There are too many that have sought recognition for us to ignore. We will continue to stand up for the truth. There is more growth and expansion at the College of the Muscogee Nation. This year, we opened up the brand new state-of-the-art STEM building and lecture hall. College of Muscogee Nation also made history, becoming the third land-grant institution in the state of Oklahoma, joining Langston and Oklahoma State University. This extension program has hit the ground running, providing Muscogee citizens with education, knowledge, and tools to improve their well-being through agriculture education, community development, and nutrition education. Is there any Is Dr. Randall or any staff from the Muscogee College here? Please stand. Please relay this to Dr. Randall, that I guess it's safe to say that the ravings are flying high over the College of Muscogee Nation. And speaking of growth, there's a lot of excitement from our Muscogee Nation Gaming Enterprise this year. And looking ahead to the future, we broke ground on 2 new casino hotels in Eufaula and Coweta, and a combined capital investment over $175 million into these communities and over 450 jobs. MNGE also got creative in their contribution back to the nation with the all-new giving initiative this year that was featured at all 9 locations. When cashing out, and most of y'all that play casinos, you're gonna know what I'm talking about. When cashing out, players are asked if he or she will donate their coin amount, and if the answer is yes, the kiosk provided 3 options of Muscogee Nation organization in which the player can choose to direct the donation. The total amount donated this year was $103,798. And to the following, this is where it went to: the Muscogee Nation Scholarship Foundation received over $29,000. Muscogee Nation Veteran Affairs received over $45,000. Muscogee Nation Cultural Preservation received over $28,000. So I'm real thankful and grateful for the managers and representative from Muscogee Nation's Gaming Enterprise for doing that for us. Thank you very much. And we continue to show our tribal nation are the greatest friends Oklahoma ever had, fusing millions back into communities and programs. When the state declined the summer EBT program, National Council passed NCA 24019 into law, paving the way for our WIC program to bring programs to the Muscogee Reservation. This law allowed us to gap to close gaps in nutrition over 100,000 eligible children across the reservation. We're grateful for our partners at Hunger Free Oklahoma, the Cherokee Nation, the Chickasaw Nation, and the USDA Food Nutrition Services for their collaboration. In September, we broke ground on a $32 million joint project with the Indian Health Service and the Oklahoma Water Resource Board for the new water treatment facility in the city of Okmulgee. In addition, there were water infrastructure projects awarded in communities across the reservation totaling over $100 million. When you add this to our maintenance and construction of road and bridges, public school initiative, and rural development, and when we all say for our communities, we mean it. We had a great year in Interior Department. In July, we announced the Intertribal 5 Tribes Wildlife Management Agreement, allowing hunting and fishing license issuing through each tribe to be recognized by the other tribes that are party to this agreement on respective reservation land. The agreement is a historic statement of sovereignty, as hunting and fishing activities by tribal members and citizens under this agreement. Trenton Kissy, if you're in the department, stand up. Thank you for your hard work in putting this help in this through. Thank you. You notice I like to pick on these those that's in front of this department, so the next one's going to be very upset with me. Realty. Realty placed over 5,453 acres in trust for the tribe, which was the largest acquisition ever done in eastern Oklahoma. Along with collecting over 1,023,301 for our landowners and the tribe, the newly established referral service program has served 206 citizens with their probate, wills, and deed approvals. And Realty have been named the #1 realty office in the nation and will receive their award in March in Las Vegas. The Realty Department, stand up and be recognized. It appears Sonia's not going to stand up. I'm so proud of the commitment, dedication, and most importantly, the capacity growth from our Light Horse Department. We've made history, teaming Light Horse with behavioral health to create and host the first tribal crisis intervention team programming. This was a monumental achievement, as state numbers currently reflects that only 3% of officers with crisis intervention training are tribal. We began our mounted patrol and highway patrol program this year. We've also added our K-9 division, expanding capabilities there, including tracking lost children and missing persons. Within this past year, here's just a few numbers that our K-9 has taken off the streets of our reservation. 72 pounds of meth, 390 grams of heroin, 5,986 fentanyl pills, have seized 162 firearms. Our SWAT team, based on their extensive training and vast resource, continues to be called upon assistance from fellow agencies and taking the lead on incident as well. The drone program, swift water rescue and dive team, and the special operation units remain a steady force in public safety in our reservation. Our mobile command unit and new drone command trailer have been game changers, allowing us to maintain safety in tense situations, as well as successfully assist on many searches, rescues, and retrieval calls. So I'd like to recognize our SWAT, drone teams, and emergency management. Please stand up and be recognized. We also have a great partners in law enforcement. Those who see the value of working together and combining our efforts for the good of all. Two leaders are here today with us that I understand and I appreciate them attending. I would like to ask Chief Mike Bell of Coweta Police Department and Chief Danny Owens of Okmulgee Police Department, please stand and be recognized. Turn back. Thank you for attending. Thank you for your partnership. At the Muscogee Nation's Health, we combine to stake our claims as one of the finest tribal health systems in the country. This year, we began an Express Care Clinic in Okmulgee, expanding to a new location this month. We celebrate our 100th robotic surgery at Council Oak Comprehensive Healthcare. We continue to make progress on the new clinics in Sapulpa and Holdenville. And in March, we will see the opening of the new and improved emergency department at the Okmulgee Medical Center. The new addition will be 1,300 feet, featuring 12 treatment rooms and a substantial upgrade from the current number 3 to 4. This increase in capacity will provide us the opportunity to massively cut down waste time in the emergency department. All of this help Muscogee Creek Nation Health accomplished their emphasis on patient experience and will continue to be a priority in the next year. Our Secretary of Nation office has been awarded $21.1 million for the state small business credit initiative that will commence in February. And the National Telecommunication Information Administration Tribal Broadband Connectivity Program round to 2 awards in the amount of $41.2 million. And that will commence later this year. Between the 2 historic awards, the Secretary of Nation has acquired more than $62 million in federal funding for the economic development opportunities and internet technology. Both awards will enhance to bring additional economic development activities, governmental revenue, and citizens' access to modern amenities, such as high-speed internet and greater access. These are just examples of progress made this year and the hard work and dedication of so many of our cabinet and secretary division in various departments. And please, I'd like to ask that you take the time to view the quarterly reports on the nation's website. These reports contain more extensive breakdown of the data of each program and division. And they also offer a real-time glimpse of how we're doing throughout this year. Let us know, hold us accountable, and show us where we think we're getting the job done and where we can improve. And I'm very excited what lies ahead. This year, we'll see the master plan begin materialize that has been in works for years. Many good people over the years that love this nation, that dedicated so much to this nation, their vision will be realized when we see the completion of Phase 1 in early 2026. Next year, we'll meet, and I'll give this address. It will look like a different around here, and we're going to be proud of it. We'll change the skyline of Okmulgee forever with the completion of a 4-story, $88 million citizen service building. And this month, we're beginning construction on our new justice system, an all-new court facility, and an expansion that we so badly needed. And I'm sure Roger and the district court can attest to that. As I was reading this, I was hoping Chief I would be here. I found one of his old strategic planning book when he was in office, helping Chief Beaver, I believe, or Chief Cox. As I was going through there, I noticed that one of the projects they had in mind was a college. We have that. Also the growth. As I mentioned before, a lot of statements I made, the nation grew without growing with it. So we're Cox, Chief Beaver, Chief I, Chief Ellis, Chief Tiger, and Chief Floyd for the vision that they had. And just let them know that I'm pursuing that vision as well. I appreciate both y'all for attending, and thank you a lot. I promise to you with the next 3 years I have left, that I will continue to work for the people, the Muscogee people, past, present, and future. To the National Council, I look forward to continue to work together to make the best decision. For our employees, I promise that we'll continue to look for ways to make this the best place to provide for your family and work. And to our citizens, you are why we are here. I promise more prosperity and progress for this nation and resolve to finish the job we've started. Now, I'd definitely like to recognize, as Speaker have done, to the former speakers of the House, Speaker Thomas Yahola and Speaker Sam Alexander. Under your leadership with the other speakers, I learned a lot. Sam is my basketball partner. Had enjoyed my time serving underneath you. So, Mado, thank you for coming. And to all the county commissioners that are here, thank you for your time and thank you for being here. And to Mayor Wyatt, very looking forward to working with the city of Bristol. I know Mayor Nichols couldn't be here, but as well as Tulsa, I'm looking forward to working with the mayor in Tulsa. As all the programs that I mentioned, there's more. I could have went probably another hour, but there's a lot of departments that need to be recognized. But at this time, I'd like to have all the employees of the Muscogee Creek Nation please stand and be recognized. All the employees. Again, thank you for your time. So next year, we get to show off some new buildings as they go up. And as I mentioned, the new court building will go up. I'm very anxious, and I know you are as well. So I appreciate each district court judge, Supreme Court judges for attending, and all the representatives. Thank you, Fed Getter, for attending and always keeping that relationship with us. Representative from Cherokee Nation, Joe Deere, thank you. If you ever talk to Joe, give you a call, make sure your phone is charged up. Joe will run it down. Now, I want to thank all the families that are here. Families of the council, as well as administrative branch. You are the backbone of who we are as tribal leaders. Your support means a lot, and thank you. And Speaker, I'll turn it over to you, and thank you for your time. No.